Retro Care back again. First things first, I picked up a few subscribers lately and I just wanted to say I'm really grateful for that fact. You know, I look at life as being really busy now. Times of the premium. We're all running around trying to get too many jobs done in too small a space of time. And if you've taken the time to subscribe to my channel and watch a few videos, then I'm grateful. Thanks so much. I try and keep the videos coming. But on that fact, today's video of rushing around, we're going to have a little bit of a chill out. We're going to play Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker on the Amiga. I used to love this game back in the day, really nice and chilled and relaxed compared to a lot of sort of shoot 'em up games or whatever games where you get quite stressed. This was different. And I did like these sort of bar type games, you know, to do with sort of bar games like darts, snooker. I've got 180 up there, Mastertronic game on a ZX Spectrum, darts game, used to love that. So yeah, I used to pick up the odd game along those lines, pool, snooker, etc. But this particular game I really loved. And I thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a chill out. I'm going to make it a chill out thing. Now, after this intro, you'll see the start of the game, and the actual music that you'll hear is from the Amiga game itself. You remember Chaz and Dave, Snooker, Loopy, Nutso? It's very much along those lines. For whatever reason, it must have been because of that Chaz and Dave song. They're always plinkly plonkety piano sort of tunes that whenever you saw an article on snooker or anything, the music they would make for it would always be like that. It's just the same on this game, so I'll play about 30 seconds of that music. But once I start playing the frame of snooker in the game, I've added some music, I've added some chill out music, because you don't actually get any music with this game once you're playing the snooker. So it's dead silent, apart from maybe putting your chalk on your cue. You can hear there's very little going on. So yeah, I thought I'd add a bit of music, chill out music, and we'll make it a bit more of a chill out zone really. So yeah, on that fact, before we start playing, I've got a little story about Jimmy White. You know what, I was brought up in London. My dad used to take me down to the pub, not me to drink, obviously I was a kid, but those days parents would take their kids to the pub, and the kids weren't allowed in the pub then. You just weren't allowed in. Over 18s, really strict rule, but kids would hang about outside. The dads would come out, mums and dads would come out with a Coke, bag of crisps, and you were left outside and we'd mess about in the car park. That's just the way it was then. But my dad would give me a couple of quid sometimes, because there's a big shopping centre called the Arndale Centre next door, and I'd go in there, buy a few bits and bobs, but that was the way it was. But next to the Spread Eagle pub was Snooker Hall, and that's where Jimmy White used to play. That's where he used to do all his practice, and my dad would bump into Jimmy White every now and then. He didn't really know him, but you know him to say hello. One particular day, I was walking there with my dad, and there, lo and behold, was Jimmy White. And my dad sort of said, "Hey Jimmy, this is my son. Any chance you could give him an autograph or something?" Now, I think I must have been about 11 years old, something like that. But we then started rooting around for a bit of paper. My dad thought, well, what can Jimmy sign? And, you know, he was struggling to find anything. Then he dug into his jacket pocket and he found this photograph. Now, this photograph is of me. I'm going to embarrass myself by showing it. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, actually, to have a better look at it. But it was me when I was about sort of, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. And the cardigan I'm wearing, it's criminal. It's about 3 sizes too small for me. But that's another thing that was back in the day. You wore things for a long time. Your mum made you wear it. But this is the picture. My dad and his wallet. And look at that. I think it must have been some sort of event. I was going, but look at them sleeves. My goodness, it's almost a t-shirt. But yeah, look at the decor as well. That would have been the mid-1970s. But yeah, this is all my dad had in his pocket. And he asked Jimmy White to sign the back of this. Now, as you can see, if you get close, if I get the light out of the way, there you go. It says, "To Kevin, best wishes, Jimmy White." And the pen started to run out. Can you believe it? So Jimmy's name was a little bit the pen was a little bit running out. But you know what? I was still pleased. It's a little story and it's a nice memory. My dad's gone now, and it's the very fact that he was carrying this photo in his wallet is nice. So here's my little picture about when I met, not my picture, that's my little story about when I met Jimmy White. But on to the video. Let's have a bit of a chill out music and me mumbling along to a game of snooker, and I'll talk to you at the end. here we go, Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Obviously you have to play as Kevo. But yeah, I must stress that the music you'll hear is not part of the game. I just sort of added it because I really wanted this to be a really chilled, sort of relaxing video. And I downloaded the music from Pixabay, which is a great free website. I do try to donate to those sometimes, even if it's just a few bucks, as it's an American website, I think, to the people who made the music or the video, if you use videos as well. But yeah, here I go. I'm playing Tom. Now Tom is supposedly the weakest player, but he'll be too strong for me. But I won't talk too much about how you play the game. That little table I just clicked on at the top, the icon just shows you the full view of the table from above. You've got various icons on how to play the game, but really quite simple. It doesn't take long. A good sign is I had this game back in the day, and I've got it again now, and it only took me about 5 or 10 minutes to sort of get used to it again. If you think it'd probably been, oh god, I don't know how long, 25 years, something like that, more, she might be 30 since I played it, and it came back really quickly. That's always a sign that the game developers did a good job. But here I am trying to line up my shot. You use the sort of line to sort of get your aim. I put my chalk on there. Always put your chalk on in these computer snooker games because you're likely to get a miscue if you don't put your chalk on. But there's me, like some pro, trying to put side and screw back and all sorts onto the cue ball. Bit more chalk. And there you are. That's how you control the power of the cue. You draw the cue down. And I'm thinking I'm set pretty well here. But as you can see, I overcut it. Now Tom, he doesn't mess around, as I said, and take too much time. He just cracks on. He's tight to the cushion there, but it didn't make a lot of difference. I think he's nicely positioned on the black there too. So I'm not playing and talking. I played this just before, and I'm talking over it now. When I try and talk and play with even a game like this, I'll probably be even worse. But Tom had a bit of a mess up there, so I think he's going to have to try and do a safety shot. But yeah, these snooker games really, they're nice. You know, if you want to really have a chill out session, games like these snooker ones, the darts games you can get, some of them are really good. And this one was particularly my favourite for the snooker games. Now I did buy this on the PS1, Jimmy White's Whirlwind on the PS1, but you know, I gave it to the charity shop because they really did a poor port really. You couldn't even see some of the sort of writing on the screen very well. A little bit lazy, dare I say it. And when I looked on eBay, it was literally going for, you know, a couple of quid. So I just took it to my local charity shop. Bit of a shame, but at the end of the day, I've got this one. I was really pleased to pick up an Amiga again. Anyone who follows my channel knows I picked up an Amiga 600. Now I've edited on here further into the frame because, as I said, I'm not going to show you a whole frame. It could be a little bit long-winded, especially the way I play. But I'm still not on the board with any points, and Tom's got 10. And here I'm lining up a long pot. A few fine adjustments. A little bit more chalk. A little bit of right-hand side there, you can see. There you go, that's my first points on the board. I was quite happy with that long pot. So as I said in the introduction, I was a big Jimmy White fan. Used to watch a lot of snooker back in the day. My mum and dad used to love watching the snooker. And we were obviously big Jimmy White fans because my dad obviously bumping into him every now and then where he did his practice in Wandsworth. Next door to the pub my dad used to have a few pints at. And as I said, I was so young, I can't remember how old I was when I met Jimmy, and he signed the back of that photo which I showed. But yeah,
I remember feeling really strange meeting somebody you'd seen on the telly in real life, because, you know, it doesn't happen too often really. So I'm lining up this blue here. I'm thinking I can get 2 pots on the spin, which I do, or did, and I was very happy with that. So yeah, so being a big Jimmy fan, oh man, I didn't have too much time for Steve Davis. God, he used to wind me up the amount of times he would beat Jimmy. But looking back, you know, Davis was a great player. It's like a machine. I remember reading that he used to watch the Terminator sometimes before he went out to play a match to get him in the right frame of mind, and that's what he was like when he was playing a match. But yeah, really quite a nice guy as well. You know, when you look at him being interviewed now and stuff, he's generally a really nice guy, Steve Davis, and a top player. There's me lining up my 3rd shot on the trot. Bit more chalk. Bit left hand side. And oh yes, I potted 3 on the trot. I was very, very happy about that. Now I'm pretty much lined up for the brown here, but I'm going to say to you before I take this shot that I missed this brown, and even though it's meant to be a chill out game, a chill out session, I got cross and turned my Amiga 600 off. As I thought I was getting the hang of it, and then I missed this brown and I was not happy at all. But yeah, top game. Really, really did love this game, and I used to play it a lot, and I'm going to play it again quite a few times, I think. And off went the Amiga after I missed that brown. So I edited on to the end of the frame here just to show you what happens. Tom is well and truly in the lead now. He does foul this on the final shot, but it didn't matter. Tom beat me 53 to 34, and you can hear the crowd's applause for Tom. Love playing this game.
Right, so that's Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Just a brief look at it with a bit of chill out music, as I said. But yeah, top game. Used to love that game back in the day. Now, before I go, I picked up another snooker game, World Snooker Championships 2005. Now, I've heard good things about this, so I thought, yeah, let's go for it. I think, do you know, I think I got this for £1 at CEX. So I'm going to have some play of this, and if it's any good, I might do a little video on it. But there you go. World Snooker 2005, PlayStation 2. But anyway, that's the video for today. Like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll be back again soon. Take care of yourself and try and keep cool.